Hello, and a very warm greeting. Welcome to GlobalSBM Business Talk. Today, we are to welcome Mr. Ravindra as our guest speaker. Mr. Ravindra is an expert at World Economic Forum, columnist at China Daily News, C-suite advisor, business consultant, and international speaker. Mr. Ravindra is founder of the ASEAN Network, a digital community dedicated to connect like-minded individuals who can inspire the young generation through speaker series, webinars, and virtual conferences. Mr. Ngo is the founder of the Cambodian Society, a global leading nonprofit organization. So without any delay, let's welcome Mr. Ravindra Ngo. Mr. Ravindra, the stage is all yours.
Thanks, Parshu, for your kind introductions and also Global School of Business Management. And thanks for all participants today. I hope and I will do the best to give you all my humble knowledge, both on professional and personal background, but also to give also some best practice in the leadership resilience. But perhaps before, may I introduce a bit from the ASEAN network to share a bit about what I'm doing right now and also what is a vision and mission of the ASEAN network. And I'm sure coming on the 17th of February, it will have a very, very interesting conversation series with the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. So I will share in the chat box the link for all of you to register because it's free and open to public, and you'll be really happy to share from his expertise. So I will just share before I start in the chat box the link to all of you to register. Okay, so now let me share the screen with you about the presentation about what is exactly the ASEAN network. I try to find where I can find okay, let me open it. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, just try to find it. Okay, did you see it? Excellent. So yes. Yeah, so just before excellent, thanks. So just before we have that masterclass about resilient leadership, just give you some few insight about what is the ASEAN network, and I think that it will interest both entrepreneurs, students, CEOs from all over the world. I think that I try to take advantage about what's happened currently. You know, 2 years ago now with that current pandemic, that it's really a question of perception. How do you want to see the glass full or empty? And I try to find the opportunity. And I within this, I think crisis, the opportunities that we can all be connected digitally. That's why we have that session, you know, having some session on live Facebook, but also connecting people from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and also Switzerland. So I think that is really the beauty of being digitally connected. So the ASEAN network is mainly gathering 450. Now we have more than 550 plus third business and young leaders, mainly from 25 Asian countries. And we have a private LinkedIn group. We have also different other social medias that I will share you at the end. And really the mission is to promote the role of technology for good, because for now we are in the fourth industrial revolutions, but you can see how accelerated all these innovative and technological tools has been replaced, and not replacing, but has been implemented in different both institutions and also tools. For example, AI is one of them, blockchain technologies. So I think that we will go, I think, even very close to the fifth industrial revolution, because there is accelerations, and that is something we need really to be aware. So the fifth industrial revolution is really how to work with that, I would say, robots or technology, how we make it for the good purpose. And the third objective of the Asian Network is really to be a voice and catalyst of young leaders, being in Bangladesh or in India or in Nepal or even in Mongolia. We have all these young leaders with the social impact missions who don't have the exposures with that big institution such as the World Economic Forum, and who didn't really know how to connect with this organization. So including our mission is to support all the SDGs goals, mainly gender equality, but also youth empowerment, and obviously also the climate crisis that we all facing as human beings that we need to tackle. So this is the vision is really to gather and to connect. I call that leaders by head and heart, because I think that it's something very interesting. The COVID, especially for me, you know, during the first year of COVID, no one can really get out from his house, out traveling, and it only can work in, so inside of you, inside of me. And I really try to reset and really try to reconsider myself, and mainly and most of leaders are only working with their head. You know, it's a very intellectual part that all of us we have, but I think more and more, and that's why I'm really motivated and passionate about what I'm doing right now, is that we need more and more to balance with the head, but also with the heart. And more than that, we need also to work with ears, to listen people, to see also, to see, because a leader need to be also empathic. And this I will share with you within the masterclass. So the vision is really to build a force of leaders for good, for the humankind, and this is, I think that we are on the good track to reach. So just very briefly, these are those kind of events. We have one big event called the award ceremony, that we reward all the leaders on specific industries. It's twice a year. For now, it's virtual, but it will be in person very soon. And we really award their achievements in social impact, for example, for water sanitations, but also climate actions, and also for gender equality or social justice. Then we have a second format, which is the conferences. The first one was on women and leadership, gathering more than 15 speakers from all over Asia, from Cambodia to Myanmar to Brunei to Nepal. And the second one will be on education and skills, coming on the 10th of March. All that information you can find on the website that I've just shared in the chat box. Then thirdly, we have the Tech for Good webinars, and all, again, I want to precise, all of the events, all of these events are complimentary, free of charge. It didn't require your time if you're interested, but after, you can find also in the intelligence on the website all the presentations of the speakers, very inspiring speakers, and I have access and can even download to inspire you. And we have also the Tech for Good webinar series, which really promoting entrepreneurs, the same in different parts of Asia, but especially in Tech for Good. So it could be agri-tech, it could be clean tech, it could be health tech, and also obviously it could be a health tech. So this also another format of event. And last, we have the expert series and conversation series that we will have on the 17th of February. This will be our first one, conversation series, speaking about geopolitics mainly. And we will have the great honor and privilege to have the great son of Mahatma Gandhi. So please save your place, I think that it will be an amazing webinar. So this is kind of our members and speakers, very influential, but again, leaders for good, not only speaking about business, but really social impact missions. So we have a very diverse background from environment, also UN women, TEDx speakers, World Economic Forum Young Leaders, and also, like you can see with Shomi Hassan Chowdhury with a Diana Award from Bangladesh, that she have also a very inspiring story, and all these leaders have really something to share, and really to, I think it's a good source of inspiration. So we have a digital platform, as you can see here. We go quite fast on that, and also a virtual platform. We try not to use Zoom, but another platform called Run the World. It's something very dynamic. You can send some emoticons. It's very interactive and design, and I found the process very user friendly. So I think it's a great things to use, and you will see on the link, it's very easy to register and to contribute. So this is mainly our strategic partner. We partner with the World Economic Forum to some events, but also AREA, which is one of the leading think tanks in Asia, in ASEAN. And this is also our social and digital platform that we have. So you can find on LinkedIn, if you click Asian Network, the Asian Network, Facebook, the same, Instagram, that's good to follow us. This is mainly some credential. One of our speakers, it's very well known, called Mr. Pradeep Pariyar from Nepal. He has been the executive chairperson of Somato Foundations, but also nominated in 2020 as Young Global Leaders by the World Economic Forum, and we award him. It was last November 2020, and it was with also the opening remarks of the former EU ambassadors to the Philippines, but also students who really participate and learn a lot from these leaders in technology to being aware about what will happen in the future. So it's really benefit many people. So that's mainly our achievement. Is not updated, but in August 2020, we celebrate our first year. So it's only have 1 year, but we have a lot of tractions, and that will be in a growing, I think, scale, because again, I think that the COVID has been accelerated all that usage of technology. Now, as you can see, now we are a lot interacting on webinars, on virtual conference, and I think that the trend will be hybrid. It will be a mix between conferences in person and digital and virtual. So yeah. So thanks for listening for this short presentation about how and what is the mission and vision of the Asian Network. What I have built for the last year, because the trigger was that pandemic. So I try really to use my strengths, which is my network, to the benefit of humankind. So to really provide knowledge, to build also a community to inspire youth, but also CEOs and also entrepreneurs to really be committed for purpose and leading with head and heart. So I will stop there my presentation, and we will start our masterclass together on the resilience leadership. I think that many people have been today because of this masterclass. So let me stop here the presentation, okay? And now I will start the masterclass, because I think at the end, after the masterclass, we have a Q&A session. So please feel free to ask me some question. I'm very happy to take some question from the panel. Okay. Can you see it? Excellent. So yeah, so first of all, thanks again for being there today. And again, thanks for Global School of Business Management and Kagendra and Parshu for having me today. And I will share my humble knowledge about resilience in leadership. And I think it's a very trendy topic because we are facing more and more, I think, challenges, social challenges, environmental challenges, health crises, and even geopolitical tensions. So I think that resilience is it's something, and even if I push my thinking, inner resilience is something that all leaders need to have, same as critical thinking, same as empathic leadership. I think that this is something that it should be really integrated. So this will be an introduction of resilience in the first part. Then I will share you some personal stories that I'm sure that most of you today can be connected, and I'm sure that they have also in some level have experiment that stories. Then I will share some tool and exercises to really apply in your daily life if you need it. And then I can also share also the 6 step to build your inner resilience. I have done a program for that, inspired by Harvard Positive Psychology. And then we will end with a Q&A session. So few things about me. I think that just before I have shared you the Asian network. So my last company that I have built in August 2020. This is just for me to share with you. In 2012, I have been attended Harvard Extension Schools, and then to see and share with you my trajectory. But you will see why I'm doing that is that nothing is linear. And you will see that before having those of this achievement, I've been through a lot of personal challenges, and it was not an easy journey. I think that everyone look at only one part of the iceberg, but I think that every one of us have also the most difficult part of us. But I think, I will share with you that from pain, we always gain something to make us more resilient. So it's always how, again, we see and we perceive things. But I also want to share with you this very nice quote from Mahatma Gandhi, and this is something I try to apply every day to really being optimal and to be really fulfill it and to be really drive with purpose, is to live as if you were to die tomorrow, but also to learn as if you were to live forever. I think knowledge is very important. It's a way to understand better the world, but also to support and to help others. So one of my favorite color is the royal blue, and one of my favorite cities, because there is so many, it's Kyoto in Japan. So after seeing and sharing a bit of my personal background, just a nice quote and definition about resilience coming from Nancy Quinn, which is a teacher at Harvard Business School, who said, resilience is the capacity to not only endure great challenge, but get stronger in the midst of them. So I think that it really summarizes, I think for me, in my personal opinion, what is resilience. It's really, again, to endure great challenge. And I think that we have been all resilient with that current pandemic situations, indirectly or not. because we try to find some way to adapt first to this situation and also to recover as quickly as we are. I don't only speak about personal, but also in kind of business. And I know that there is many business students or also business owners who are watching this masterclass. So I think this is really reflecting something that we have all endured. So I think that you already are resilience leaders, every one of you. So it's really how to get stronger. That's mainly the things. The very important thing is that from every pain, we always get stronger in some way. So let me show you a very quick and brief video about a lesson on resilience. This is mainly at a kindergarten, but I think that it's a very interesting video to watch to explain you a bit the base of resilience.
Who does it look like? Me. That's right. I want you to do.
Sorry, there is. Okay, volume up, please. No volume. You didn't hear. I think that this is something perhaps from the video because of Zoom. If we play on Zoom, perhaps it didn't work. But let me try again because I put already the video.
I'm not hearing.
You're not hearing.
Probably other also not hearing.
Yes, sound is not clear.
The sound is not. Yeah, I think there is a issue with the sound. Let me check something. Sorry for that.
It should work if you increase your volume, Mr. Nosh.
Oh, really?
I think it will work if you increase your volume.
Okay, let me try. Because I am already at the 80, 90 now. Let's try like this. Did you hear? Did you hear now?
You can hear a bit.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So let me do like this. I will put on the maximum the volume. Okay, I put on the maximum. Huh? Sorry about that.
Who does it look like? It looks like me.
Yeah, it's better.
I want you to do everything that you can to knock your toy down. Who is the strongest in class? Jaron, come on up, please. I'm going to give Jaron a prop, and he's going to try to knock it off the table. Ready, Jaron? Okay, children, who can tell me what it means to have resilience? Yes, Paige?
Resilience means if you make the toy fall down, it will come back up very, very
Okay, so after. Yes, try to come back now. Okay. Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, excellent. So yes, so I just so we're sharing the view in that sense. Yes, that's better. So yes, so after this short video to recap and in another view about what is the inner resilience, I want to share with you now some scenarios that you can also participate and you can reply in the chat box with some ideas. It will be nice. So sorry, I hear some noise. I think someone should unmute. Okay, perfect. Thanks. So yeah, so this leadership resilience scenarios, I again, like I shared with you before, most of you have experienced that. So why I share with you some personal stories is because indirectly, we have also all that personal stories are indirectly connected to your professional journey, and you can also shift that mindset to your professional experience. So for example, the first one was in Ararat Mountain. It was in 2008. And I know that many watch us today, and it's you have a mountain surrounding around you. So I'm sure that we have all hiking, doing some mountain. But my case was a bit different. It was in Ararat Mountain, I think, in Turkey. It was in 2008, and we climbed with different friends. Most of them was from Armenia, and we climb until the 3,200 meter on the Ararat mountain. So the Ararat mountain is mainly two hill as you can see on the pictures, and that was something quite unique, because before reaching the top, one of her tourist guide came, and we feel that something wrong happened to him, and he said that I have some bad news. 50 meters from her basement, there is some German tourists who were kidnapped by the Kurdish guerrillas, and the only things that we should do is to go down straight away, because all the military troops from the Turkish army was directly on the mountain. So you know, the situation is it's something that I'm happy to share with you, because in some way it's kind of like we are in the movie, but you know, it was not a movie. So many also complications was here, is how to really not being so emotional, because you know that when we are too emotional, we cannot take the right decisions. And also, you know, in very high altitude, you know, we're lacking a lot about oxygen. So it's also stop you to really think clearly. So what will you do to take the right decisions? So these are some pictures about the team, myself climbing the Ararat mountain, and when it happened, our base camp at 3,200 meters, as you can see, we are really lacking a lot of oxygen. So my question is there, and please answer in the chat box. What will you do in that situation? A, reflect. You take the time to step back and have an overview of the situation. B, you assess. You size different options with pros and cons. Or C, you sleep. You think that the power nap can make and give you a clear decision. So I give you a few seconds to answer in the chat, please. Okay, I see Raman say B, Manish A, Ganjedra B, Nilima A, Deepak A. You have also a different answer. Huh? It's not only A or B or C. You can also answer different letter. Okay, Narayan A, Sumit B and A. Okay, thank you. So the answer is answer A and B. So within that situation, and again, this is something really can connect with your own experience, because you really when you want to reach a goal, you know, when you are really focused on something, and you know, again, this can be connected with your professional career, because personal and professional in some way are interconnected. So you really need to reflect and assess before. So what we have done is that obviously we have taken the right information before to collect from different parts, not only from the Turkish embassy or the Armenian embassy, but also from the French embassy. And then after we decided not to reach the summit and to starting our descent. So I think that leaders need to have a strong understanding of themselves to successfully guide others through time of challenge and uncertainty. And this is coming again from what I have just mentioned when we start this webinar session, is the COVID. During that first year of COVID, no one can travel and can go out, but what we can do is really to go in. So to go in to really know our inner purpose, our inner values, and really to understand that situation, that global situation is also something like I was thinking that it was a fiction movies. But when it's not a fiction movies, we really need to think quite clearly and to take some really important actions and measures. So now let's go to the scenario 2. Instead of being focusing on reaching a target, now it's more a marathon. Life is a series of marathon and sprint. That's something also I want to connect, because life is not linear. It's a lot of up and down, you know, from everyone I know, I think that's the case. Life is not linear. So for this personal scenario 2, it was in 2010 with a friend of my father. We do the Chemin de Stevenson, which in France is Stevenson Trail. It's a very well known trail in France, because Stevenson, which a famous author of a book, he have done that just after he have some personal and sentimental issue with his girlfriend. He decided to come in France and to walk that 280 kilometers. So I have done the same. It was in the summer 2010, and per day you walk around 28 kilometers with a backpack of 15 kilos on the back. And you know, at the end, the complication is that physically and mentally, you have a lot of sign of exhaustion. So the second complication is, you know, the weather is very important when we do trail, and also obviously mountaineering, to really understand and to predict, you know, and not only mountaineering, also sailing. And you know, now with the climate crisis, understanding the weather, it's far away, very important. So what will you do in that situation to really not to have a clear mind, to know which trajectory, knowing that it's a very long way to reach your destination? So this just to show you a bit the trajectory, that 280 kilometer, and on the France map you can see the red part is where it is in France on the map. So what will we do? to reach your target in that sense. Answer A, to meditate. It will give you clarity. Answer B, to eat, to get some strength. Or answer C, to communicate. On the road, we met different people because again, yeah, this is something we don't really know where to go and how you'll do to reach your final destination. So I see some answer. Okay, B and A. C. Sumit, thanks. Manish, it will be C. Yes, same for Diamond. Raman, B and C. Narayan, B. Ganjendra, C. Deepak, B and C. Okay, there is a lot of correct answers. So the answer is C. It's really how to cultivate relationship, personal, again, professional, the network and you know, having some friends or some colleagues we really can trust are very important in your personal and professional journey. So it's really they can be a source of guidance, but also of leadership. So that's mainly how to cultivate a relationship. So now let's go to the final scenarios, which is the scenarios, the three, and that's also a personal experience in 2017 when I lost my job. I was at that time in Hong Kong. I have at that time a top positions in a British company, and I was at that time supervising Asian countries in business development. And because of restructurations, I lost my job. But you know, when you reach top position, it's much more harder to find a position quite immediately. And also when you're a foreigner in Hong Kong, obviously you don't speak the language, which is Cantonese, so it's really challenging. So I go through a cycle that I think many of you have faced in some way, in different level, through depression, solitude, and that's, I think, a very toxic and vicious cycle. So when you are in that kind of state of mind, what will you do to solve it? When you don't have clarity, when something very bad news happened to you, loss, death, loss of work, you know, or even kind of dispute in the couple, what will you do to recover positively and to recover quite in a very in the immediate, and not having that phase that really it's a vicious cycles which really be worse and worse? So here I have three options. The letter A is to learn. Mistakes and failures are part of the success. Answer B is to grow. The growth mindset allow you to take things positively. And answer C is to repeat, to do the same mistakes, which help you to build your inner resilience. Again, multiple answers are possible here. So I saw Sumit answer A and B, Imal A and B, Diamond answer A, Manish A and B. We have to think as a part of life and move on. Quite true. Gagendra A, Narayan A and B. Yeah, there is many good answers as well. Raman A and B, Narayan A and B. Thanks for being participative, guys, because it's really also when you're participating, you assimilate this information. So it's a good process for the memory also to get this knowledge. Okay, thank you. So the answer, it's mainly answer A and B, as many of you have right on the chat box. So it's really learn and grow. I think that, and for me in that personal situations, I've done a lot of sports to really disconnect from that negative thought, vicious cycles. And I really also find a purpose. When I speak about leadership with purpose, it's very important to find a purpose in life. And that it will be part of the series of exercise just after. I will give you some trick to help and support you in that way. And I found my purpose building my own non-profit organizations, which really support Cambodia communities in Hong Kong across 3 different pillars, which is art and culture, social impact, and business. So this also really helped me to recover fast. And also the third is having faith. It does help a lot in that difficult situation. So approaching challenges with a positive outlook allows leaders to recover, to bounce back from adversity, and also to come out stronger on the other side. Is really reconnect with the first quote at the beginning of my introduction about the definition of resilience. Okay, so now we will have some exercises, 3 mainly exercises that we can all do with me today. So the first one is signature strength. So please, if you have a notebook, if you have a pen, just please take your notebook and a pen. It will be really helpful also to the same to write, because you will assimilate that process as well. We will go also from 5-minute mindfulness meditations to really reset, reconnect with your inner self. I think that is very important to reconnect when you are so much overwhelming from all that digital technology, from mobile, from internet. You know, that's something is very important to do. And then our final exercise will be really how to find your purpose in life. So for 2 exercises, you will need to have a notebook and to write with a pen. So let's start with the first one, signature strength. So the first one is how to use a signature strength in a new way. So every one of us, and this is, you can check on Google later, is coming from Martin Seligman and Christopher Peterson's about the virtues and 24 character strengths. It's very interesting to differentiate virtues from strengths. And also it's important to also recognize what is your strengths, because you can really share with others, inspire others, but also get empowered. Because if you really do your best, if you're passionate, if you work on your strengths, you will be more and more powerful in that skills that you have and benefits others in that way. So these are the cycle of strengths and virtues. So you can see courage, transcendence, temperance, justice, humanity, wisdom is some virtues. And then the strengths, zest, bravery, honesty, perseverance, humility, it's one of other virtues. So during 2 minutes, I'm asking you to write on a paper one strong strength that you recognize. Oh, it's really me. People say, yeah, I'm very kind person, or I like to work in teamwork, or you have a lot of sense of leadership. So please write one of these strengths that you recognize on a paper, and then you will write mainly why I am sharing that find your strengths and apply in a new way is that you really need to apply it for a better purpose, or to inspire others, or really to make it more consistent. So I let you 2 minutes, please write on a paper one of your strengths, and please, if you can also write on the chat box to see which strengths represent all participants today, because you will see, I think most of them will be quite common. So please, you can write on your chat box what people say from you, what is your strength. If you know yourself, I'm sure you know your strength. So please write in the chat box, what is your strength? Creativity, excellent, Nilima. Gratitude, yes. Gratitude is very important. Teamwork. So yeah, it could be personal and professional. So what is good when you will write all these chat box, all this strength in the chat box is that usually we apply teamwork or gratitude in only one way. But what I'm trying to share with you is we try to find other fields that you can apply this strength. I think that humility, it could be with friends, but also it could be with your employees or even your boss. That's mainly what I'm trying to do. You can really, within one strength, applies in different sectors and different network around you and in your surrounding. Okay, Narayan, love and kindness, very important as well. Yes, and we are reconnecting to the heart, so very, very important. I think that also the main purpose, is not a financial, as businessman, is not only financial purpose. It should be more in the impact and of herself, your friends, your community, but your nation. I think this is something much more higher than only the financial reward. I think that's, and between West and East, there is some misconception of really what's our purpose. So, okay, Diamond, judgment. Sumit, mixture of courage, wisdom, humanity, justice. Yes. Think, yeah, Sumit can be a good lawyer. Okay, so all of this, thanks for again participating. There is not good or bad answer, but at least you please use this strength as a signature strength to really inspire others, and you will see you will be really happy. Perhaps you say one day, perhaps I don't know, on Monday I will use one act of kindness. I will give someone a free lunch, or I will say a good things to my colleagues only every Tuesday, and you will see something will happen in a very indirect way. So let's move now to the second exercise, and it's a good way to have a small break as well, because it's a mindful meditation, because breathing can make the difference between panic and resilience. When you're in situations of stress, panic at work, in also with personal experience, breathe and ready to reset is very important to have clarity of mind. And there is many techniques, but one of the most efficient that I found is mindfulness meditations. So what we will do during 5 minutes is really, instead, please disconnect with all your mobile, disconnect with all interactions. Please take these 5 minutes to put you in a bubble, and really focus and watch at the next slide. Look at this candle. You can close your eyes or not, but during that 5 minutes, I will just ask you to focus on your breath, to feel your breath. You breathe in and you breathe out, and just focusing at the same time on the lightness of the candle and your breath, and just try to cut all your thought, all your troubles yesterday, not your projection about what you're doing tomorrow. Just try to being in the moment present. That's why we call mindfulness, because you will see it's a very inner work. So during 3 minutes, I will let in silence, And just please connect on your breath in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. So progressively, you will open smoothly and progressively your eyes. And I think that this quietness that you just experiment, it's very important to do in your daily life. I'm sure that many of you already practice meditations. For me, it's something even mandatory. You know, I think that is something really helped me to have energy, to really reconnect also with the meaning of life. I think that, you know, there is a lot of illusion around us, and I think this is something very simple, but sometimes simple equal efficiency. You know, with all that again technology, you know, consumptions process, marketing, digital marketing. I think it's sometimes important to reconnect with the essence of life, and this very simple exercise, you know, even if you have done even less 5 minutes of your times, for me, I don't know if you feel that, but I feel much better and also positive in that way. So yeah, so thanks for participating to this exercise, and let's move now also to the last exercise, and that's a very important one. I think that's a very important one because it's really, again, find your purpose in life, find your life's meaning. You know, I think that's according to different people, spirituality or religion, or even if you're not religious, we all speaking about the universe, you know, and I think that it's something that if we really understand, you know, the cosmos, and also how we have been all together connected, you know, from Nepal to China to India to US to Japan to France is that we are all coming mainly from that same universe. I think that we need also to understand that, and I hope and I'm sure that many of you, when they have a leadership, they can have a empathic leadership to be connected with someone who suffer. I think it is very important. So please take a pen and a book for this exercise. It's a very quick exercise to find your life meaning and to feel your life, if your life is well lived, and write on this paper these questions. If you die, what will others, or what other will be remember of you? So write down on a paper. Please take 2 minutes to really think, because this is a very important question, and you will see the only fact to write this sentence will really trigger something in you that really say, oh, that's right. What will other will say if I died? So take this 2 minutes, and it's just very good to do that after this mindfulness meditations, because you have much more clarity. You have done your reset inside of you, so you can really now write down this answer. So I let you 2 minutes to write down on a paper. I think this is something private, personal, intimate. So I don't need that you write on the chat box. So keep that for you, but write it on a paper and keep this answer for you, and I'm sure that will have an impact. So I let you 2 minutes to do that. It's good. I can see on the video that you are very well focused and concentrate. So I'm very happy that you take this exercise seriously. Thanks. Okay, so thanks for that. This is the end of the exercise. Now let me just click here. Yes. So just to recap what we have done so far, we have been seeing an introduction to resilience. We have also seen 3 ways to build your leadership resilience, and also 3 exercises to build your inner resilience. And these are something you can use. You can even share with your friends, your colleagues, and I'm sure that many of you already know this exercise, but it's sometimes good to refresh, the methodology, these tools. They are very simple tools, but the mindfulness meditation is something, I'm used for 5 minutes, and it seems I'm sleeping for a 25-minute nap. So it's something very interesting. It depends. Everyone is different. You know, some I know they don't like meditation. Some others they do like. So it depends. It's feel to find your most, I think, appropriate exercise is a personal, I think, connection that you need to feel. So the 3 ways to build your leadership resilience, to recap, is reflect and assess. And this you can take even pictures of these slides. I think it's something very interesting because it's coming from Harvard Business School and will help you in your business and in your also personal journey. So to reflect and assess is very important. To assess challenge with a sense of emotional intelligence. You know, emotional intelligence is complementary to quotient intelligence. Emotional intelligence is really to understand yourself and others. I think that there is many books of Goldman, which an author is writing a lot of books on that. The number 2 ways is really to learn and grow. I think that approaching challenges with a positive outlook is important. And, you know, I recommend you also, there is many books on what we call the growth mindset, GROWTH. The growth mindset is something to really approach things in a positive way. The number 3 that we have just seen with my different experiences, cultivate relationship. Trust friends and colleagues can be a source of leadership, but also guidance. And then I think the final one that I really underline, it's a purpose-driven, I think, leadership, that you can lead more with authenticity, to rely and gather your employees around a mission when challenge arise. So these are mainly the 4 ways to build your inner resilience. Then I think that something also apply quite every day is really to take actions. You know, it's something didn't happen if you just wait in your seat watching TV. I think that if you're here today, you are very motivated to bring a small change in your life, and also to really get few knowledge from my humble knowledge, and also because you have take actions, you know, to do this on a Sunday to 1.5 of your time, because you have take action. So I'm saying that taking action is always rewarded, and having a positive mindset, positive attitude despite of challenging time helps a lot, because if you think negative and you are too pessimistic, sadly it will, you know, show that to your surrounding. And, you know, I believe in the butterfly effect, that we are all again interconnected. So I think that this a positive attitude, perhaps you will give the smile to someone who is not feeling well. So, and this will connect to other people. And, you know, that's something we cannot see perhaps with our eyes, but it really works. It's perhaps also a spiritual language that I have with you, but I'm sure that you also believe in those things. Some people also in Buddhism, they call that karma. So it's a karma effect. I think that when we do positive actions, the universe, whatever religion you are, you will get back. That's something I also experiment in my personal journey. So you can see also I build inner resilience program on internet with that 6-step, and I have just shared you a few tools and exercise. You can also, if you scan, you can also download the free ebook on that website. And yeah, you can preview also some different exercise and everything. So that's mainly some personal skills and masterclass that I'm sharing, like I do today in a private community, but also for corporate and also with a speaking engagement. So this quote also is very important. It's from Winston Churchill, but I do like this quote: success is not final, failure is not fatal, this is really the courage to continue that counts. Really, again, courage to be brave. It's a strength that we should have, especially during challenging time, because it's really coming from the gut, and that's something always to being courage and being brave is always, I think, for me, rewarded in some way. Those are some personal details. Please, if you want to be connected with me on LinkedIn, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm more than happy to include you and have different Asian network conferences to have the last events. You have also my Facebook page, my email, and my Instagram. But I think LinkedIn it's a good way to be connected because it's very well done. But if you want to use others social medias, I'm happy to do so. I'm really hope that these sessions give you some few tricks, tools about inner leadership and resilient leadership. And I'm happy now to answer to the Q&A session. Thank you.